And welcome to those of you joining us on Varsity Sports Network here at Wekiva High School. We are getting ready to go with the last quarterfinal game here in the first ever Orange County Public Schools Metro West Conference Championship Tournament. This is a new idea introduced this year. The girls did theirs going into Thanksgiving weekend. The boys did theirs just now coming into Martin Luther King weekend. Wekiva and Wekiva Ocoee are hosting these quarterfinal rounds.
And we are underway.
Timing on both teams on the jump, but it goes to West Orange.
Yeah, an awkward start, but nonetheless, we are underway. I'm Neil Fisher. The voice you just heard was Mark Barchi, who's also the public address announcer. And certainly sit back, because we got a great game for you, some great background stories. This is West Orange in the blue jerseys. They are the number 8 seed. They defeated Horizon last night. Dr. Phillips, the number 1 seed, and of course, the defending state Class 7A state champions. They come in with a 12-3 record as the first shot, no dice. And so Dr. Phillips will go back on offense for the first time. So Dr. Phillips comes in again with a 12-3 record, defending Class 7A state champion, ranked 31 nationally in the Max Prep rankings. Number 4, Class of Florida, all classifications. As a spin, and no dice for McDowell. And Dr. Phillip is also ranked number 2 in Class 7A among the entire state. West Orange, they come in with a 6-9 record. However, they have won 5 of their last 6 games. No score, a minute and a half in. And the drive by Burley, a whistle, and our first foul of the game.
Foul called against DP's number 1, Denzel Aberdeen. That's his first and the team's first. Checking into the game for DP, number 24, Jonathan Caicedo.
So, of course, West Orange, a very young team. They graduated only 4 returning players as ball swatted away but rebounded by Miles, resetting the offense back up top to Burley. And then to add to that problem of that transition, a major turnover, longtime coach Eric Jones resigned as the tray launch in and out, rattles in and out. Ernest Uday, who we will get to in a minute, with the rebound. Dr. Phillips, the other end, contact. That was Aberdeen drawing the contact.
Foul is called against number 4, Khalil Horn, his first, the team's first. Panthers ball at the sideline.
So Eric Jones, the longtime coach at West Orange, over 15 years, resigned not even a week before the start of the season. Again, that was after a large class graduated, only 4 players returning for West Orange. Possession will remain with Dr. Phillips. So looking at Dr. Phillips, of course, anybody who follows high school basketball, we already told you, Class 7A defending state champion. And that was after going multiple times to the state Final Four. But they are just as loaded, perhaps more than ever so. Uday unable to drop that deuce. They have 3 players who not only are D1 commits, but they are D1 Power 5 commits. Ernest Uday, who just tried to take that shot. He got the rebound on the last West Orange possession. He has signed with Kansas. And then you have Denzel Aberdeen. He has signed with Florida, and Riley Kugel, number 2, has signed with Mississippi State.
So certainly to say that Dr. Phillips is favored in this game would be an understatement, but we saw in the last game that you can't go with the odds makers all the time.
Yeah, as we get into this game real quick, Wekiva pulling off the upset, the number 7 Mustangs defeating the number 2.
Foul called against Warriors. Number 12, Aaron Walker, is first, the team's second. Jonathan Caicedo at the line shooting 2.
The number 2 seeded Olympia Titans. And they will take on the winner of Windermere and Edgewater tomorrow at 2 p.m. Olympia will take on the loser of that game in the consolation semifinals. In the meantime, in this game, Uday at the line, and he gets the first points of the game. 1 of 2 at the free throw line. So, again, I have to admit, Mark, we've seen him a couple times, Dr. Phillips, that is, and we saw him. It was up and down the court. Transition, full throttle, not fifth gear, but sixth gear, and they certainly have come out at a much slower pace in this game. And maybe some of that does have to do with West Orange going to a more deliberate pace themselves. Coach, your other story when you talk about Dr. Phillips, as West Orange looks to inbound, and a whistle.
Too much time on the inbound, Panthers ball.
That was Davis trying to inbound the ball, and there was where, again, where you see that youth and inexperience coming to play. As we mentioned, Dr. Phillips had gone to the state championship final, or the Final Four, multiple times. They had a couple of tremendous finals against Winter Park during the Austin Rivers era, as Uday is rejected, and now West Orange going on the attack. Transition opportunity. And score the deuce.
Second chance layup by Aaron Walker.
So a 2-1 lead now for West Orange. A slow start in terms of the scoring. And then, of course, last year, Dr. Phillips finally won the state championship under Ben Witherspoon, who is in his third season. He replaced the longtime coach, Long. Coach Long had been there for over 20-plus years, and Dr. Phillips had that remarkable streak of 20-plus victories for 22 straight seasons. Witherspoon's first season, they barely went over 500, finishing 13-12. As the release from Kugo, no dice, Uday doing Windex work and gets whacked on the foul.
Foul called against Warriors. Number 1, Kyle Burley. That's his first personal foul, the team's third. So as you mentioned, Neil, Coach Witherspoon had a little bit of a rough start at Dr. Phillips, especially when you consider the expectations of that program. But he proved that that was just a fluke, and Dr. Phillips has been back to their winning ways ever since.
And a turnover on...
Offensive foul called against Panthers number 21, Ernest Uday, his first, the team's second.
So far, despite the last 2 minutes of discussion about Dr. Phillips and the resume and all that they've done, West Orange has managed to, well, I wouldn't say they've made it ugly, but certainly not as smooth and cohesive as you would expect Dr. Phillips to be. And it's a 2-1 score, 4.5 minutes into the second of 2 games being played at Mustang Arena.
So, of course, yesterday's games were played at the higher seed, so West Orange hosted and defeated at Horizon. Dr. Phillips got a first-round bye thanks to their seeding, so this is the first game they played, and the site of today's, tomorrow's, and Monday's games was fixed in advance, so Wekiva and Ocoee are splitting hosting duties today. And then tomorrow, Apopka will take over, and then on Monday, the finals round will be hosted at West Orange. And on the rebound, Denzel Aberdeen is going to draw the foul. Foul called against number 12, Aaron Walker. That's his second personal foul, the team's fourth.
And one other note about West Orange, again, we told you that they are a young team, only 4 players returning, none of which are starters. And to add to that problem, they had a coaching change less than a week before the start of the season. They are a team that has had a couple of down years for what we were used to, as swatted away, picking up that loose ball as Walker in the corner. Launch for Scott. And the foul.
Push is called against Denzel Aberdeen, his second, the team's third.
I'd say West Orange, at least throughout the course of Wekiva's history, which is now 15 seasons, has at the very least been a state champ or a state playoff contender. And of course, I mentioned that because West Orange and Wekiva were in the same district for pretty much, I believe it's been 11 of the 15 seasons now. So we are very familiar with West Orange and what they do in that program from an opposition. Swatted away by Uday, the Kansas commit.
Nice block there for the Panthers. And
there you see why Kansas wanted him.
Yeah, you got to assume that both of these coaches are not particularly thrilled with their offensive performance for the opening, going on 6 minutes now. Total of 3 points between the two teams. Both teams have more fouls than they do points. Spin move, there it is. That's Adam Davis for 2. So West Orange, the only team that actually has gotten a field goal to go in. Dr. Phillips has nothing to show for the first 6 minutes other than a free throw. They've gotten a few good looks. Defense.
Uday, slam!
Ernest Uday with the dunk to put the first field goal of the game up for DP.
Uday, not waiting, no hesitation as he spun after taking that pass.
Block is called against Riley Kugel. That's his first, the team's 4th. So, Dr. Phillips, maybe they were just saving it for the right style and pizzazz as Uday finally puts them on the board for field goals. Warrior layup by Kyle Burley. And so far, Neil, we are living in the upside down as Wekiva took a 15-point upset over state-ranked Olympia, and now West Orange comes out ahead of Dr. Phillips. We'll see if they hold on, but Khalil Horn picks up the Warrior layup and will pause for a timeout. 30-second timeout requested by DP. Excuse me, that's 30-second timeout by the Warriors. So we'll be back in just a moment with more of the first quarter here at Mustang Arena. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. This is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and sports information director here at Wekiva, joined by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief as DP is looking to get back into this game. We've gone almost 7 minutes. They have just the Uday dunk, and that's all they have to show so far.
West Orange scoring 6 of the last 7 points.
Push is called against number 4, Khalil Horn, his second, the team's 5th.
So West Orange coming in as the number 8 seed, and Dr. Phillips the number 1 seed in this Metro's Hoop Fest. And no dice. Rolls off that rim for Miles, but he does draw the foul. Got whacked.
Foul called against number 13, Jaquaris Slaughter. That's his first, the team's 6th, and that will send Cameron Miles to shoot 2.
So 8-3 lead for West Orange as Miles goes to the line. And Uday doing Windex work, and he gets tangled up. A couple of the West Orange players. Let's see who the foul's on.
Foul called against number 1, Kyle Burley. That's his first personal foul, the team's 7th, and it puts the Panthers into bonus. At the line, shooting 1-1, number 21, Ernest Uday.
And so, as you just mentioned, Mark, Uday, with Uday at the line, Dr. Phillips will now be in bonus for the rest of the half. That's 9 minutes. So this is the 2022 Metro Hoop Fest Western Division Tournament. And basically it's a championship for the conference as Uday connects on both of the free throws. And that cuts the lead to 8-6. West Orange has led for the majority of this game, scoring on their second possession.
Carter McDowell comes into the game for the Panthers.
And now DP going to a full court trap. West Orange poised and breaks it at the other end, making the withdrawal. Bowie.
Luther Bowie for two.
Down at the other end, the long pass, 40 seconds remaining. Slashing through the lane, but no dice. That was Shetfield. And now Slater will reset. Slater on the right, dumps off to Caicedo.
Jonathan Caicedo for two.
So some nice give and go from DP. And 10-8 deficit. Opportunity to cut into that lead following the turnover for West Orange. Along the baseline, faces up and draws the foul. Another foul, the 8th on West Orange.
Foul called against number 3, Kyle Cotre. That's his first, the team's 8th at the line, shooting 2 for the Panthers, Cameron Miles.
And so for most of this first quarter, I don't want to use the word ugly because I don't think West Orange has, well, I don't think that's really an accurate description per se, but they certainly have done some things that Dr. Phillips is not used to. 6 seconds remaining, and they've kept the game to a tie. They might even take the lead. Yes, they do. Float the deuce.
At the buzzer, Kyle Cotre adds 2 for the Warriors, and that takes them to a 2-point lead at the end of 8 minutes. 12-10 is the score going into the first break. Back with more from Mustang Arena after this. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. The Panthers have the opening possession of the second quarter.
And Dr. Phillips in the white jerseys, the home team on the scoreboard, will have possession of the ball. They trail 12-10. Dr. Phillips, the number 1 seed, West Orange, the number 8 seed. West Orange coming in winning 5 of their last 6. Of course, Dr. Phillips trying to defend their Class 7A state champion with a 12-3 record. And, of course, those 3 losses to nationally ranked teams. This is Kugel. Back out to Aberdeen. One of the 3 D1 commits. Aberdeen stops, pops, and drains the rain.
Riley Kugel for 3.
The first tray of the game for DP. So, again, West Orange doing a good job of throwing DP out of their game for the first quarter. And they answer with the connection.
Jumper for Gems Narcisse.
So West Orange back into the lead, 14-13. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Apopka and Evans tomorrow. As no dice for DP, and we come back the other way. Strong rebounding for West Orange back on the offensive end. West Orange continues to move that ball around the perimeter. And both these teams have gotten their points in much different ways. As the turnover.
Double dribble violation. Panthers ball.
And opportunity for DP to take its biggest lead of the game. In fact, this 14-13 lead is its only lead of the game, as West Orange led for that entire first quarter. So DP not shooting particularly well, 2 of 8 from the field in that first quarter, 25%, as Aberdeen sweeps under and gets harassed and then whacked. However, DP scoring 6 of 8 from the free throw line.
Foul called against number 22, Luther Bowie. That's his first. The team's 9th at the line shooting, Denzel Aberdeen.
And speaking of free throws, Mark, wouldn't you know, just on cue, I brought up the fact that DP had scored 6 of their 10 points at the end of the first quarter from the free throw line. And they find themselves back, as Mark just said, 9 fouls. So not only is Dr. Phillips in the bonus, but they will be in double bonus, and they will be in double bonus for 6 minutes. West Orange, on the other hand, connecting on from the field. They went 5 of 10, some good free throw field goal percentage. And the spin, right, left, back, that was Bowie trying to make a maneuver, but an even better defensive play
by McDowell there.
Yeah, McDowell coming out of nowhere, showing some hops. So he's one of the 3 players on Dr. Phillips who is not signed with the D1 team yet, but certainly shows that the next class is just as good. Long-range tray, 5 feet behind. That was Kugel, slices off, and we come down the other way. Uday picking up the loose ball. Emphatic.
Ernest Uday on the Panther dunk.
So an opening left by West Orange. A couple of mistakes, taking that long-range tray and then not getting to the loose ball. And Dr. Phillips, in particular Uday, makes West Orange pay. 16-14 lead for DP. The sweep in that paint, no dice. Ball comes loose. Aberdeen picking up the loose ball again. Back the other way. Uday. Windex work in the tip in.
Ernest Uday tips in.
So now you're seeing Dr. Phillips in the second quarter starting to get to a lot more of those 50-50 balls. And there's another example. Shot taken by Scott. And you're also seeing West Orange, their field goal percentage now starting to drop. Sweep through the lane. And whacked on the way up is McDowell.
Foul called against Warriors, number 22, Luther Bowie. That's his second personal foul and the team's 10th. At the line shooting 2 is number 13, Carter McDowell.
And so mentioned Dr. Phillips in that first quarter scored 6 of their 10 points from the free throw line. 6 of 8 to be exact. They are now 9 of 11. They continue to make their living so far in the early going. The majority of their living at the free throw line. And we got a whistle in between the free throws.
Yeah, delay of game warning there is called against Uday. So the first one's free. Second one in the same game, and we'll get you a technical foul.
And Coach Witherspoon's taking Uday out right away to calm him down. And second, no good. So West Orange brings that ball up. And the defense harassing the Warriors.
Bradley Scott
into
took that pass out of bounds. Panthers ball.
So West Orange, again, led 10-8. That would be considered an upset. Dr. Phillips, the defending Class 7A state champs, and number 1 in this Metro Hoop Fest tournament. West Orange coming in with a 6-8 record and seeded number 8, but they have won 5 of their last 6. So an upset. Now Dr. Phillips, though, you're starting to see them finding their groove, finding their game, and a big part of that has been the turnovers. As another whistle, that was McDowell trying to kick the ball out.
Foul's called against number 22, Luther Bowie. That's his third. At the line, shooting double bonus, Jonathan Caicedo.
So West Orange, the stat that does stick out to me, Mark, is again the turnovers. 3 turnovers for the entire first half, or 2 turnovers for the entire first half for West Orange. They have now committed 3, and we're not quite 4 minutes into the second quarter. And the free throws continue to not only be attempted by Dr. Phillips, but dropped. And the lead now up to 7. Meanwhile, at the other end, West Orange needs an answer. The sweep. Oh, great finger roll. Couldn't get it, but doing the Windex work is Walker. So give West Orange the bucket and the 2 points. Much needed points, cuts the lead to 21-16. Dr. Phillip back to work. And the finger roll in the tip for McDowell.
Carter McDowell adds 2 for the Panthers.
So some hops for Dr. Phillips. And now Horn swings it around to Walker. That's Walker with the sweep off the front iron. Loose ball, another 50-50 loose ball picked up by Dr. Phillips. That's Aberdeen. He's going one-on-one now with Walker. And action underneath the basket.
That was a nice block there for the Warriors.
And with 3:05 remaining, another foul. Dr. Phillips will go back to the line.
Foul called against number 2, Brady Scott, his first. At the line, shooting 2, number 13, Carter McDowell.
And this will be the 15th and 16th free throw taken by Dr. Phillips. 13 minutes into this ball game. So there you see where, again, we mentioned that Dr. Phillips has 3 D1 commits, and not just D1 commits, but Power 5 conferences. Uday's going to University of Kansas. As the rebound and great Windex work for Sheffield. Meanwhile, at the other end, West Orange trying to get back, trying to answer. That's Narcisi back up to Horn. He releases, stop, pop, and drop.
Basket by number 4, Khalil Horn.
Aberdeen will be going to Florida, and Cougar will be going to Mississippi State. And not only is it just a fact that those guys are talented, they have that D1 Power 5 talent as the ball's launched, but no dice, doesn't matter if it goes in.
No basket, traveling, Warriors ball.
But those 3 players know how to use that talent and skill. They use it very efficiently, and it's a very diverse talent and skill. We've seen the entire range. Again, this is the 3rd time Mark and I have covered Dr. Phillips. Score the tray, finding the range.
For Jens Narcisse.
And I think what has stuck out the most among those 3 D1 Power 5 commits is, again, what I just said, and that's that they have the entire range of skill set. And I think that now is starting to kick in for the Dr. Phil Panthers. Credit the rebound to Scott. Nice rebound, fundamentally sound. And we come back the other way. And this time West Orange takes his turn at the tray and a foul.
Foul called against Panthers number 13, Carter McDowell. That's his first personal foul, the team's 5th. That was behind the arc. And so that means that Aaron Walker will be at the line shooting 3.
And so as you heard Mark say, 3 free throws, and that's always critical when you get those 3 free throws, not only because it's the 3rd opportunity, but it does build some momentum. You know, it's one of those subtle, that free throw is subtle, but it certainly could open the door, it could start a run, and just really being able to build some momentum. So also want to point out, to close out my thought about the three D1 commits on Dr. Phillips. That's Aberdeen with Florida, Cougal with Mississippi State, and Uday, who just came back into the game with Kansas. Part of that skill set, as I mentioned, is they just use it very well. They're very efficient and proficient, as the lead is now 26-23. But they do it very quickly, Mark. It's not like they are stopping and thinking about what they're doing. They get into that skill set and they use those and decide what skills to use as soon as they get the ball. Short, and Walker picking up that 50-50 ball. So West Orange, an opportunity to cut into the three-point deficit. Speaking of Uday, slaps it away, and here you've seen that quickness, getting that ball up the court quickly.
And that was about maybe 6 inches away from goaltending. But it doesn't matter as the Panthers blow their possession on an unforced turnover.
Yeah, and that's a critical turnover because they had just stopped West Orange from cutting into the lead. And now West Orange gets a second opportunity, another opportunity to cut into that lead. Slow drive, but gets the shot off. That's Scott, no dice. Uday corralling the ball and the foul.
Foul is called against number 12, Aaron Walker, his third. The Panthers continue into double bonus. At the line, shooting 2, Ernest Uday.
So not only do the free throws continue to increase for Dr. Phillips, this will be their 17th and 18th, but now the fouls are starting to mount against West Orange. As you just heard Mark say, that's the third foul on Aaron Walker. And there are 4 players with a foul each now. Dr. Phillips has been in bonus since 1 minute remained in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you only have 10 pips at the bottom of your screen there, but West Orange actually has 13 fouls in the first half.
So, unfortunately, Dr. Phillips did not take advantage. They were shooting the ball well from the free throw line, making 6 of their first 7. But they've missed 4 of their last 5. Now West Orange goes to work. 30 seconds remaining. Defense coming up hard. And for a while, able to keep West Orange from taking a shot, but eventually the reach-in foul.
Ernest Uday is called on the block. It's his second, the team's 6th. Warriors ball at the opposing baseline.
So now both teams will be in bonus. But again, a major difference, though, in those bonus and free throws. Dr. Phillips will finish the last 9 minutes of the first half in bonus, and they will take a 26-23 lead. 25 seconds remaining from Mustang Arena. 25.4 seconds remaining from Mustang Arena. First round of the 2022 and first ever Metro Hoops Fest. Dr. Phillips, the defending Class 7A state champion, and the number 31 ranked team nationally, Max Preps, with the lead 26-23 over West Orange, who has the ball. West Orange looking to make that last statement, go into halftime with some momentum. From the top of the key, the tray. Too long, corralling the rebound, quick shot off the rim, and a foul on the rebound. So both teams in the bonus.
Push is called against number 5, Adam Davis. That's his first personal foul. The Panthers continue into double bonus. Jonathan Caicedo is at the line, shooting 2.
So Caicedo with 5 points. And again, Dr. Phillips with the 3-point lead. And I don't think the fact that Dr. Phillips has the lead is a surprise, but again, only a 3-point lead. And in fact, West Orange has held the lead for most of this game. They held it for the entire first quarter. No points. Again, opportunity going by the wayside. and way off. So again, somewhat of a surprise in terms of the lead. Dr. Phillips with the 26-23 lead, but 5 missed free throws, could have been larger. As we go to halftime, this is the 2022 Metro Conference Hoops Fest.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. The Warriors have the opening possession of the third quarter. And Neil, this has been a game that West Orange has stayed in and certainly has made a lot closer than I think a lot of observers might have predicted, as they have managed to stay in shouting distance. Still a one-possession ball game as we get the second half underway.
26-23 lead for Dr. Phillips. A whistle right off the bat, just 10 seconds into the second half.
Yep, and it's a turnover, so that's not really what West Orange needed to start the second half. For a while, it looked like Dr. Phillips was asleep coming out of the gates. Now, I do know that Dr. Phillips is exhausted. They have had a really rough schedule over the last couple of weeks. And going into the
Hoops Fest.
Yes, this Hoops Fest, as we get a basket by Jonathan Caicedo to open up second half scoring for the Panthers. This is a great time from a practical standpoint to have a tournament like this. Not necessarily a great time from a stamina perspective to have this, and the Panthers are really starting to see that fatigue take on, but the Warriors, to their credit, keeping up with this state-ranked program who won the championship last year and is interested in doing the same this year, as we get a three for the Warriors by Dylan Faulkner.
Let's not forget, Mark, West Orange had a very rough start, talked about only having 4 players return, no starters, and then as Aberdeen rejected West Orange, opportunity to go to the run, but they will not be able, looked like they were going to be able to get into transition. Good job by DP getting back on defense. So West Orange also had to deal with the situation of their longtime coach, 15-plus years, as the attempted sweep through the lane is no good by Scott. He draws the foul.
Foul called against Panthers, number 11, Jackson Slater.
Jones, the head coach, resigning less than a week before the start of the season, and they had a very rough start, as we talked about, but they have since won 5 of the last 6. And they come in with a 6-9 record. And off to the races. Score the deuce. The bank +1 for
Sheffield and 1. Foul is called against the Warriors. Number 2, Brady Scott, his second, the team's first of this half.
And to West Orange's credit, since you were talking about DP, they played some very tough teams too. Especially during that 2-8 start, Central Florida Christian Academy. Of course, that was the Metro versus Florida Challenge. Lake Mary, Osceola, Apopka, Haggerty, Oviedo, Lake Brantley, Edgewater, and Windermere. Of course, those are all teams that at the very least are state playoff contenders. Back the other way, no dice on the tray, doing Windex work, skying, kick out to Horn, and Uday, the big man, ripping down the rebound. So to finish the thought about West Orange, since then they have won 4 of their last 5, as Aberdeen launches, short, clinks off the rim, gets his own rebound, slashes along that baseline, and got a somebody took a piggyback ride. I couldn't see who that was. Okay, that was Burley who committed the foul, piggyback.
Foul called against Warriors number 1, Kyle Burley, his third, the team's second.
So since that 2-9 start, or 2-8 start, West Orange has defeated Buchholz, that's up in Gainesville, Wekiva, Eastridge, Evans, and Horizon. So again, they do come in winning 4 of their last 5 as Aberdeen launches. And possession will go back to West Orange on the foul.
Push is called against Panthers number 21, Ernest Uday, his third, the team's second. So that could be big trouble for the Panthers if Uday gets into foul trouble. He has a delay of game warning and 3 personal fouls against him.
Yeah, and also want to point out, as the drive and the kick out, Possession will remain with West Orange. This is the 2022 and very first Metro Hoops Fest Championship Tournament.
Nice work there by Jackson Slater, chasing Brady Scott all the way back to half court.
Each team is guaranteed at least 3 games. However, it is single elimination as far as the championship. So saw the upset, as Mark mentioned, in the first game, Wekiva, the number 7 seed, knocking off the number 2 Olympia team. And they will take on the loser of the winner of Edgewater and Windermere tomorrow. And West Orange continues to stick around, now down by only 5 points.
We've already seen one upset today. West Orange has it in mind to maybe deliver a second one. We'll see what happens. But certainly Dr. Phillips is playing below their typical performance level. This possession notwithstanding.
Score the deuce.
Carter McDowell on the Panther dunk.
Third turnover in the second half for West Orange. And DP has come out of the gates in the second half, 3 of 4. Obviously only 4 shots, but certainly making the most. 75% conversion rate. So DP scoring over 70 points a game, and they are not even going to get to 60. Now, with that said, I think you have to give West Orange some credit too. I wouldn't quite go as far as say they've uglied the game up. I've seen a few of those games. As the launch and drain the rain.
3 for Brady Scott.
It's not like it's been a lot of physical play, a lot of intentional contact, a lot of give no quarter play, but they certainly have, I guess you could say, muddied the waters for Dr. Phillips, slowing the pace down. And the answer at the other end for
3
Caicedo.
for Jonathan Caicedo. And we'll pause for a timeout.
And that'll bring the score 36-29. Once again, the first round of the 2022 Metro Conference Hoops Fest. Winner advances to game tomorrow at Apopka. 3:40 remaining.
Welcome back to Mustang Arena. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Dr. Phillips up 36-29 in this quarterfinal round of the 2022 first annual OCPS Metro West Conference Tournament, as we get a foul called against Panthers number 11, Jackson Slater, his second and the team's third.
Yeah, a 3-point lead at the halftime has been extended to 7 by Dr. Phillips. And now they go to a 1-2-2 half-court defense. Bit of something we haven't seen before, no dice.
And a foul on the rebound.
That was McDowell grabbing the rebound for Dr. Phillips.
Foul called against Panthers number 13, Carter McDowell, his second and the team's fourth. So, Neil, it turns out that McDowell is actually the perpetrator, not the victim of that foul. West Orange gets another chance here. They spin and drain it in for Kyle Burley.
And that is actually the first 2-point field goal West Orange has made in the second half. So they were 3 of 3 before that last 3-point attempt from beyond the arc, but 0 of 3 from inside the 3-point arc.
Block is called against Brady Scott. That's his third personal foul, the team's third.
The winner of this game takes on the winner of Apopka and Evans, which is actually going on right now. Well, probably ended recently. And this is Aberdeen through the lane, kicks back out to McDowell, stop, and the pass along the baseline. Aberdeen again on the left corner, into McDowell, and it's another piggyback ride. drawing the foul.
Push is called against number 1, Kyle Burley. That's his 4th personal foul, the team's 4th of this half.
So one thing, again, talking about Dr. Phillips, they're going to be well below their average of about 74 points a game unless they pick up the pace, as Aberdeen takes the inbound. Too long, rolls off the rim. Credit the rebound to Bowie, and West Orange comes back the other way, sweeping through the lane and making the withdrawal.
Khalil Horn for 2.
So Horn now with 6 points. So West Orange, as the ball is launched, rims in and out, and more Windex work being done by Bowie. West Orange has certainly had a hand in Dr. Phillips not coming anywhere close to their usual pace. Rims in and out. Aberdeen tracks down that loose ball after touching it. And a big reason for that is transition. Oh, Aberdeen probably didn't need to go for that slam. Wanted to send a statement when he didn't need to. But another opportunity, picking up the steal, is Uday. Excuse me, not Uday. That was Caicedo. And 50-50 loose ball picked up by Sheffield. And now DP will settle it down, finding Caicedo underneath the basket. Bullet pass in the withdrawal.
Caicedo for 2 from Sheffield.
So that was not a transition opportunity in terms of when they scored. They did not score off the transition opportunity, but nonetheless, the transition opportunity opened up the opportunity to get the basket on the putback. And another steal, Caicedo off to the races. Score the jam.
Jonathan Caicedo on the Panther dunk. 14 points for him today.
And now you're feeling Dr. Phillips again, as if on cue, picking up that pace. Again, West Orange did a very nice job through the first 2.5 quarters or so of slowing the pace down, not necessarily playing ugly. Considering ugly as the drive by Walker, fakes the pass, and he gets harassed and whacked. A lot of contact, a lot of give no quarter play, getting in the face and body of your opponents. That's considering uglying it up. But West Orange has been very deliberate in terms of not only taking the shot, but when they've run. Again, talked about this throughout the whole game, Mark. DP, and they have their 3 players, D1 Power 5 commits, as West Orange is going to inbound the ball, 40 seconds remaining. They not only have a very diverse skill set, and it's a very high level of skill set, but they're very quick in how they execute it. They know exactly what they're going to do. They make decisions quickly, and you've seen West Orange just not move the ball just so quite as quickly. Again, it's not the fact that they're not awake, they're not moving it. It's intentional, and they're doing that to slow down the pace. And the foul as the baseline attack comes from Davis.
Block is called against Panthers number 24, Jonathan Caicedo, his first, the team's 6th.
So if there is another foul on DP, that will put West Orange into the bonus. Still 8.7 seconds left. Inbound pass to Walker, fakes the tray, can't get the finger roll deuce. Quick opportunity for DP. 4, 3, 2, 1. Short, and nothing doing. A lot of action up and down, but that favors Dr. Phillips. They still have the 7-point lead, 40-33. And a game that has been far from what you're used to seeing with Dr. Phillips. West Orange coming out with an effective game plan to slow the pace down.